Igor Stravinsky is a very well-known Russian composer from the 20th century. As a kid, Igor Stravinsky's father was an opera singer and introduced him to music. At his younger stages, he was more introverted and had few friends. He used music as an antidote, but he couldn't pursue music because his parents wanted him to study law. So he did. But it didn't do him that well, as he only showed up to 50 classes in 4 years of schooling. So instead, he stayed with Russian composer Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov in 1902. Korsakov encouraged Stravinsky to pursue music, so he did. When his father died in 1902, Stravinsky was doing more music than law. He kept doing music with Korsakov until Korsakov's death in 1908. He was then commissioned by Sergei Diaghilev, where he made 3 ballets: The Firebird, The Petrushka, and The Rite of Spring. Stravinsky is mostly well known for his unique music that pushed the boundaries of what music could be today. When you think of spring, what comes to your mind? Peace? Serenity? Freedom? What if I was to tell you that one of the most influential songs of the 20th century was about spring, and had to do with none of those things? As a matter of fact, it was the exact opposite and caused a riot. The background of this piece started when a Russian producer heard Igor Stravinsky's Fireworks, a normal but popular song, and offered him a job in Paris, where he soon made another ballet called Firebird, and then he made another called Petrushka. And these were successful enough that Stravinsky could make another ballet, and this one would be The Rite of Spring. The Rite of Spring is about an ancient tribe in pagan Russia, and the sacrifices that they perform. The story of this ballet was very dark and eerie, so Stravinsky made the music to match it. The main reason it was so unique was that most ballets were very light and happy, but this one was very primal and harsh music. They made this effect by using dissonance, stress, and new rhythms. Pierre Montreuil, who would be the conductor of the ballet's first reaction was, and I quote, "The very walls resounded as Stravinsky pounded away, occasionally stamping his feet and jumping up and down to accentuate the force of the music." Not that it needed such emphasis. There was a lot of build-up leading up to this ballet, and when it was first performed at the Théâtre des Champs-Élysées on May 29, 1913, the seats were filled up, and there were many famous people there, namely Pablo Picasso and Gertrude Stein. When the ballet first started, there was a mostly positive response, but that was only for 2 minutes. Eventually, when the music started to get harsh, there was a bit of booing and laughing. And then as the dancing went on, all horror broke loose. It got so loud that the dancers couldn't even hear the orchestra right in front of them. Eventually it got to the point where the choreographer had to get on a chair and start yelling the counts from the wings. Then some fistfights broke out, and stuff started getting thrown onto the stage. This piece uses a huge orchestra, including 5 timpanis, 4 bassoons, 8 horns, and many other instruments. But although it uses a huge orchestra, many times during the music, only a few instruments play whole sections together, chamber style. The Rite of Spring was one of the most influential yet controversial songs in classical music history. Even though when they first performed it, it caused a fight, it is now super popular and is very well known across the planet. One of the greatest things about this song is how unique it is. It shows that no matter how unique or weird a song is, it can still be one of the most influential and popular songs of its time. Stravinsky is a super important composer. He pushed boundaries with all songs, like The Rite of Spring, and changed music to be how it is today. He constantly made new music that was immensely different than the last one. And yet he somehow managed to keep the same Stravinsky style. I think that Stravinsky's way of music is one of my favorites because it changes music for the better and changes the way that music will be forever.